How's it going, everybody? My name's Jax, and this is my 2008 long travel wide body Tacoma. I'm going to give you guys a quick look around of the rig and show you guys everything that's done to it. And make sure to stick around because later on in this video, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of everything that I'm bringing on my 9-day trip all the way up to Oregon and driving back down here to Utah. A lot's been done to it, but let's start things off with what it came with from factory. It's a 2008 Tacoma. It's obviously the access cab, so yes, it has 4 doors, but one of them's a little shorter. But this means that I get the 6-foot bed, which I love because having that extra space is everything for me. But I still keep that shorter wheelbase of the 4-door short bed Tacomas. It is the 4-liter V6 with a 6-speed manual transmission. That is a lot of fun. And was certainly something I was worried about being a daily driver and an off-road rig. Having a manual transmission was a big step for me, but so far I've really loved it. Another awesome option that this truck came with from factory, the TRD off-road model. So that means that it comes with a rear locking differential. Really awesome to have the rear locker. From factory, these Tacomas really aren't very special. That's all about there is to talk about when it comes to this truck. So for any of you that know me, you'd know that this is actually my second access cab Tacoma. My first one, sadly, I rolled it down a mountain, and you guys can check out the video that Peck Brothers made. They actually came and saved my bacon that day. But about a year ago this month, I went out to California and I bought this truck. And I have been so happy ever since. I bought this truck. It came with a ton of really awesome goodies. And that was the biggest reason why I bought it. Although I told myself for years I would never buy somebody else's project, here I am. I bought somebody else's project, and it's been a lot of work, but I'm pretty happy with it. So first things first, let's go over everything that came on this truck when I bought it. We'll start off with the best part, the suspension. This is a 2-inch long travel kit made by Solo Motorsports. They made about 10 of these kits and sent them out to different people to try. Solo Motorsports designed it specifically for overlanders, so it's not a crazy setup, but it is really good and it's a lot stronger than the factory. Came with a 2.5 King coilover. I believe it's a 8-inch coilover. I have some RCV plus 2-inch axles. They use OEM outer and inners with just an extended shaft there. And then for the steering, it's not the best, but I do have just stock steering with a spacer right there, as you can see. Continuing on along with suspension here, we'll move to the back. We have a Banff kit for 12-inch smoothie shocks. This is a 2.0 King 12-inch smoothie shock. As far as leaf springs go, they are Old Man Emu, medium-duty springs. Nothing special. All of this paired with a Wheeler's bump stop is pretty nice, not gonna lie. Lots of flex and it moves pretty good at higher speeds. Moving on to wheels and tires. Initially, this truck came with 37 Falcon MTs. I obviously have swapped them out for a 35-inch KO2. I really just didn't want to be dealing with breaking all of my steering too often, so went through for the 35s, and honestly, I want to go back to a 37. On those tires are these RRW Relation Race wheels with just a rock ring around them. They're a really good looking wheel. I've been loving them for sure. And slapped on behind those wheels are just some drilled and slotted rotors. That next awesome goodie we'll talk about are these sliders. You'll notice on this truck there is a ton of Banff products slapped all around it. These rock sliders are no exception. They've got a little bit of a kick out, and they've been put up at an angle just how I like them. Next little goodie that Banff makes, I'm not exactly a huge fan of because of what we're looking at right here, is the horrible approach angle that I get right there. But nonetheless, it's better than factory, and this thing is solid as heck. This is the Banff bumper with just a little light bar that was slapped in there from the previous owner. And hidden inside of that bumper is this Smitty built 10,000 pound winch with synthetic lines and a factor 55 fair lead. I've used it many times and I've been really happy with it so far. Now continuing from the front down underneath, we have the Banff skid plate. This is just the engine skid plate here, but if you look under there, you'll find that we also have the transmission skid plate. This transmission skid plate, as well as the engine skid plate, is extremely beefy, and I have slammed the truck down on them, and they have taken every little bit of abuse that I've given them. Other than the little light bar in the front, this truck did come with Baja Designs S2s. They've worked pretty good, although they do get a little bit of water in them. That kind of finishes everything off as far as armor goes on this truck. Next obvious awesome thing is these ADV fiberglass fenders, front and rear. They are a +4, so that means that they are 4 inches wider than factory, and they are pretty good looking. Now you will find that I am not the biggest fan of them, but I still do like having them. Now don't mind the mess, this is actually where the dog sleeps. He can lay out entirely right there, so he's super comfy. It's a good spot for him. Another little upgrade that came with the truck is this 10-inch subwoofer. Sits right behind the driver's seat right here. Last couple of things that the previous owner had on this truck when I bought it from him. It has a TRD short throw shifter, which feels absolutely fantastic. I love that. I have driven other 6-speed manuals that have felt pretty crappy. Feels like you're stirring a pot of mashed potatoes, but this truck feels so much better just because of that. Another thing that the previous owner did to it was re-gear it. He put 456 gears front and rear in it, and that was kind of an unfortunate situation because my rear diff actually blew up on me on that 1,000-mile trip home from California. I certainly won't be blaming the previous owner for the mishap on that. In fact, he reimbursed me for the repairs on the diff. What ended up actually happening was a few bolts holding the ring gear on backed out, and it destroyed the whole differential. I had it rebuilt, but we didn't check some of the bolts on the locker, and those ended up backing out as well and destroying the diff for a second time. So this is actually my third diff. I got this third member from East Coast Gear Supply, and it's been nothing but money. Like I said, that kind of finishes everything off as far as what came with the truck when I bought it about a year ago. Everything else we can get into is things that I've done since. Next thing we can move on to is this bright blue color. This is Miami Blue from Vivid, the Vivid Premium Plus. Now don't be fooled here, the wrap job is far from perfect. I actually did the wrap job myself for the most part, and it turned out alright, but for $200 at the end of the day, that's a pretty great deal for all of the little imperfections that you'll find around this truck. Another thing that I did myself was build this rear bumper. It's built out of just simply 2x4 3/16 steel. I welded in a Harbor Freight hitch. Don't look too close because some of those welds are a little ugly. And I made these mounts to the frame myself as well. The frame mounts actually come through to the other side and got welded. You can see just a little bit of where it came through and got welded onto the back face. And there's actually 2 pieces. All in all, it cost me about $130 to make this rear bumper, and that's pretty good. But I will want to make a video on it soon. I want to make a tire swing out kit for it. In fact, I actually have most of the parts to do that, so hopefully I'll do that soon. Now moving to the rear of the truck, we've got some fun little goodies here. Like I said, I'm about to leave for Oregon, so I'm partially packed and partially not packed for the Oregon trip. First things first, this is a bed platform that I had in my silver Tacoma, my second gen that I had before this one. There's actually a second piece that slots in right here. and goes to this bracket, and that creates a whole bed platform here. My last topper that I had on my silver truck was a lot taller, and so this worked really well for me and my wife and my dog. But when I got this topper, it's a bit shorter, so I decided to just go for the rooftop tent. It's a really good solution for storing stuff underneath. I put 2 bins down here, anything over on the side here next to my toolbox, and then I can stack a bunch more stuff up on top of here, and it's pretty easy to tie it down and doesn't go anywhere. And then I have space for the cooler and the spare tire right there as well. This topper has been fantastic because you can mount stuff up here, like the shovel, the fishing rod right there. Down here with these quick fists from Harbor Freight, I've got the axe mounted right there. And then, just in case I need it, I do have a high lift jack with the spare tire right here. Now this might seem a little funky to some of you guys, but anybody that sleeps out of the back of their truck, in my opinion, needs to do this. I took some 3/16, I believe it's 1.5 inch angled steel, and I cut it, and I put some rib nuts right on the tailgate there to strengthen this tailgate. On my last truck, it actually was splitting from here all the way down there from me hopping in the truck from the tailgate. So doing this has definitely strengthened the tailgate a bunch. I'm obviously getting inside the back through the tailgate a lot less now, but it's a good peace of mind to have this because these second gen tailgates are thin as they come. On top of this topper, we have an Ironman 4x4 8.5 by 6.5 foot awning. This awning has been fantastic. Again, I got a great deal on it. I only paid $80 for it. It's got a few little broken pieces here and there, some tears in it, but hasn't stopped me from using it and enjoying it. If you haven't noticed the massive turd sitting on top of that, you're blind. This is a vertical pop rooftop tent. It's unbranded, and I got it for about $500. Again, a fantastic deal, and I've been nothing but happy with it. It was so cheap because it had a bunch of massive cracks in the ABS here. As you can see, I've repaired all of that, and ever since then it's been working flawlessly and no complaints other than the weight and the ugly turd that it is. Rolling forward from there, we got this roof rack. Again, I have no idea what brand it is. If any of you know what it is, feel free to let me know. But I got this roof rack for about $50. It was for a 4-door Tacoma, and I chopped it shorter to fit the access cab. And honestly, it worked great. A little nerve-wracking drilling into the roof of the Tacoma. These access cabs, they don't have any factory mounting holes for any sort of roof rack or roof rail. So that was the worst part of it, but I figured, why the heck not? It's been working great. On the front of this roof rack here, I've slapped on, again, another good deal that I found on Facebook Marketplace. This is a Vent Racing 48-inch curved light bar. It's been working great, and it's extremely bright. And the little mounts here on the side I made myself. Kind of a complicated angle, but turned out really good. Next, we can go over this funky little box that I've got slapped on the top. This holds my diesel heater, actually. I hated the box that it came in, so I made this one. It's just a little box that I bought for about 20 bucks on Marketplace with the heater and the fuel tank slapped on the inside. As you can see on this side, you turn this, pops right open, and that hot air will actually blow directly into the tent from there. We have a little intake right here on the side, and that will let the fresh air in flow over the hot heater in through the back here, where it gets heated up and blown into the tent. On the back of it here, I have a little waterproof case that I bolted on the back. This is actually where the exhaust comes out. On the other side here, on the longer box, we have just a bunch of recovery gear with ropes and shackles and whatnot. Oh yeah, this truck was red. Kind of a weird color combination, and I hate it, but it's alright. Moving on under the hood here, we have a little cowl intake that I did. There's a 90-degree that looks upward, so it faces up here, so if any water gets in the cowling, it doesn't pull directly from there. The reason I did this instead of doing a snorkel is putting a snorkel in fiberglass isn't really an option, plus they're ugly. Nobody likes snorkels anyways, right? But the intake would typically come out right here. And that's a problem because I don't have a fender liner, and you go through a puddle a little too fast, and that engine is drinking water. In fact, the previous owner had that happen to him. He had just taken the fender liners out, went through a mud puddle a little too fast, and boom, the engine was burning oil. So at about 85,000 miles, this engine was replaced. So now, truck is sitting at about 115,000 miles with about 20,000 miles on that engine. So it's a pretty fresh little truck. I've also got this knockoff Oxbeam 6 gang. It's probably the Nylite brand. It's just to control all the things I got slapped on here, the S2s, these little pod lights, the 32-inch light bar, the curved light bar, as well as it powers all of my rock lights. And under the truck here, I do have some lights pointed down and back, just so I can get a little bit better view when I'm backing up. Alright guys, here's a quick little look at the rig with some lights on. Obviously we got some nice little rock lights up under the truck. Here's those reverse lights that I was talking to you guys about. There's Cowboy. He's a good boy. I was going to show you guys a little bit of what I'm going to be bringing on this next trip that we're going on. We're leaving tomorrow morning on Friday. It's going to be Labor Day weekend this weekend, but we're going to be going up to Oregon, driving up through Portland, heading to Astoria first, and then from Astoria, we're going to be driving all the way down south along the Oregon coast. We're going to be checking out a lot of the awesome sand dunes, some of the cool hikes. We're even going to go try and do some crabbing. So yeah, let's get to showing you guys a little bit of what we're going to bring on this trip. So first things first, just a couple of basic essentials here. I got a camp chair. We also have an awesome double camp chair, but the dog likes to take my spot, so I bring a third camp chair just for that reason. We have a little kitchen sink, 2 tables. This table is really good for sitting by the chairs and good for just kind of putting your food on and everything. And then obviously this big table is good for prepping all of your food. Moving on over here, we got our water. Right here is a Rinse Kit Pro. I just picked it up, and this will actually be my first trip using it. It's really awesome. It's basically a portable shower. You can use it to wash, your mountain bike, your dishes, wash your hands, and then obviously if you want to heat some water up, put it in there. It's a great shower. So I'm really excited to use this on this trip. It's been fantastic so far. That holds about 3.5 gallons, and I'll bring this along just to have a little bit extra water in case we get a little, overzealous with that rinse kit there. Moving on, we got 2 bins. This is basically our whole kitchen, fits in this bin. And then over here is everything that isn't the kitchen. So I got just a little bit of diesel heater piping, and I got a leaf blower, got a battery charger for our battery in here. This battery will run an inverter and all of our camp lights, as well as the diesel heater that I do have on the roof. Over here I just got some spare parts for the truck itself in case something does go wrong. You always want some spares. And I haven't decided, but I should have enough room to slap this chainsaw in there just in case we want to go collect some more firewood. But I'm not feeling really confident that there's going to be a lot of spaces to get some firewood. Moving on to the kitchen bin, just wanted to show you guys this. We use a little tackle box for our cutlery. So we have obviously all of our forks and spoons and knives, some hand sanitizer, and all of our spatulas and knives down here. And then we have just some of our seasonings up on top, as well as some garbage bags. Really good option if you guys are tired of having all of your kitchen supplies flying around after you get to camp. It's all messed up and you can't figure out where it's gone. And then all of the basic kitchen essentials here. You got bowls, cups, a pan. We like to bring some tin foil. That's a good thing. And then we got our stove. And all of this right here fits inside that bin. Pretty simple. So basically that's it for you guys. That was a whole truck walk around and also a trip preparation video. So we're obviously going to have a lot more things like our personal bags in the truck, bringing RC cars, drones, photography equipment, all of that fun stuff. Don't care to show you any of it, but like I said, we're going to go check out a lot of those sand dunes and a lot of the cool lighthouses and hikes and everything along the Oregon coast. We're also going to go see the Tillamook factory and get some ice cream and some cheese. Can't wait to show you guys that whole trip. We're going to try and make it either a 1 or 2 part series and just kind of show you guys what it's like driving along the coast. I'm from Utah, so going up to the Oregon coast and exploring all that stuff it's different, it's fun, and I enjoy doing it.